The mosquito left bright red blood on the wall and a black smear of its legs and wings. The bites on my arms and face itched looking at it. 3:30 a.m. is a hell of a time to feel a rush of insanity, fatigue, relief, victory, and tears, but June 2025 has been warped for all of us, yes? Why would y'all be here if not? I wasn't here in Houston, I was in Rio de Janeiro, in the neighborhood of Laranjeiras, aka the Oranges, by myself, on a musty couch in the dank of the dark and a humid night, feeling like being my own best friend was a deal with the devil. My job here is for 10 months, but I had a big problem. My job gave me a housing allowance, but I had to find an abode, a shelter, a place to land in the city of 6 million. Apartment rentals here in Brazil are usually for 30 months. There are utilities to set up in Portuguese, furniture to acquire, and the delicate task of determining safety in a dynamic environment. I quickly decided to do Airbnb. After months of laborious searching, I still didn't have a place until I had already been in Rio for 2 weeks in March. My contact at the U.S. consulate, Layla, had to approve my choice. Layla is a pleasant person in her early 70s who cheerily sent me hints along the way. The best two: you can only live in Zona Sul as Zona Norte, where you work. It's too risky. Even though you are not safely safe in Zona Sul, remember that. And there have been reports of robbery on the Passarela footbridge from the metro station to the university you're at. Students usually wait to cross it in groups. You should check that out. Side note, at that point, I decided not to fuck with the metro at all and just Uber to work until I could calm the fuck down and catch my bearings. I finally came across the first Airbnb in Laranjeiras. It's on the corner of South Francisco Square, a small cobblestoned plaza shaded by leafy tropical trees, surrounded by lively outdoor bars, a supermarket, a fire station, and gently crumbling colonial buildings. The living room window, 3 floors up, looks directly out onto the square. A game changer. So much life happens out there, and so much life happens in the bars directly below me. I hear all of it. I smell all of it too, because the windows in the kitchen and bathroom don't close. I duct taped saran wrap over them. It looked insane. I liked this little Airbnb because of the sunlight, the compact modern layout, the mini split ACs. Yes, the new little washing machine installed directly under the kitchen gas burners bounces across alarmingly into the cabinets on a regular basis. And yes, I broke a door handle, but that window is an instant mood brightener. Bands play in the square on the weekend. Rowdy soccer fans shout and set off explosives below. Trucks and taxis and motos honk and beep incessantly. I've seen men getting their hair cut in the corner, people dancing. I've seen men getting their hair cut in the corner, people dancing forró, arguments among the homeless, small, happily inebriated groups singing bits of 90s songs at 5 a.m. Been awoken a lot before dawn by the mysterious and zesty trumpet player in the fire station. I often wear earplugs inside. But in June, I had to leave this Airbnb. Other guests had pre-existing reservations. Luckily, I'd found Airbnb number 2 in the building next door. It had a surfboard in the living room and a small crystal chandelier. The place looked bohemian, retro, like stepping into someone's life, someone who knew their way around the world. In fact, the owner, Anna, lives in Chile. As the move date approached, I felt serious misgivings. I knew about the one ancient built-in window AC only in the bedroom. I knew that previous guests had mentioned lack of direct sunlight, but it looked so confidently lived in. As I dragged my 2 huge, heavy suitcases down the street, followed by trips for the guitar, the kettlebell, the air purifier, the rice cooker, the dread in the pit of my stomach grew, as did the neighbors' silent curiosity. I was 4 months in. The taxi drivers and barflies and elderly street loiterers knew me by sight. They looked at me quizzically as I stoically hauled my shit in between the bar tables and chairs, spilling onto the sidewalks while dodging cigarette smoke and shouts of "Flamingo!" At Airbnb number 2, every time I opened the door to put something in, my stomach sank more. A choking clove scent permeated the unmoving mass of dead, humid air. Rust was on the chrome dinner chairs, the dish drying rack. Black spots covered the tarnished mirrors, and the wood bedroom closets. As I opened each door, sharp tangs of mildew speared my sinuses. This was to be my home for the next 6 months. The first 2 days were choking agony. Opening windows did nothing to move the nauseating clove scent. The bedroom was unsleepable, so I spread a sheet over the couch and curled up in a ball in the corner closet to a window that I didn't dare keep open because of the risk of dang carrion mosquitoes. The couch had a deep depression in that corner. Each night, around 3:30 a.m., I would jolt awake in the dank dark, already scratching at my arms, hands, face. It would take a few moments to hear the tiny eep of one fucking mosquito. Housing instability strikes deep into one's soul. I've been homeless before, lived out of a suitcase an entire year at Miss Bonnie's House of Hope when I was 30, lived in shifty places whose flaws I had to overlook because there were no other decent options. All I could think about was how to get out of this situation without losing the housing allowance. My sanity felt like it was already gone. My body was so tense that I could barely smile. I couldn't find anything on Airbnb that would be better, available, doable. Anna's responses to my texts were blithely reassuring. Airbnb said I would not get the first 30 days with her back. I felt the despair of being stuck. On day 3, I looked around the bookshelves of the living room, suddenly realizing that any genuine bohemian hipster would have to have diffuser sticks. Anna did. 5 of them in scented oil sat nonchalantly on the bookcase. Bingo, baby! I scooped those fuckers into a bag, shoved them deep into a kitchen drawer, and then followed the smell into the bedroom. 3 more, and the bathroom, 2 way up high behind some towels. I felt a sick triumph. I looked again at Airbnb. Wait, Airbnb host number 1 said I would be welcome back any time, and it would be open after 2 weeks. Hope flickered. 2 weeks seemed like forever, but on night 3, I made sure to put a small notebook on the couch next to me before turning off the light and curling into a ball. I wore a long sleeve shirt to bed in the humid dark. I Googled about mosquitoes. Did you know that one can live behind or in furniture, coming out at night only to feed? That heavy incense doesn't keep them away as they are drawn to body heat? Well, I fucking sure discovered that tidbit of information. That third night, when I jerked awake, scratching my hands, my itching cheek, I jumped to the light, grabbed my notebook, and stood there, dishevelly swaying, half awake. I saw a tiny black shape low on the wall by the couch, and smack! The bright red blood on the wall, on my notebook. Couldn't resist a yell of "motherfucker!" Stomped around yelling "ha-ha!" for a solid minute until I could drop back down on the couch, turn off the light, hope for sleep to return before the alarm went off. It did. The next day, a third Airbnb came available to run out the days before returning to ground zero. It was around the corner on the other side of Airbnb number 1. To the increasing consternation and bewilderment of my street-lurking neighbors, I trundled with my suitcases, kettlebell, air purifier, guitar, and rice cooker through carousing sidewalk soccer fans and taxi drivers once, twice more. The surprise of German roaches on the wall of Airbnb number 3 didn't faze me. At that point, I was giggling maniacally, yelling, "I'm from Houston, bitch. I know how to deal with you. You are not even in the same universe as Roachella's flying roaches." 1 month, 3 moves, 1 bright red smeared mosquito. I didn't bother to clean off a wall. Blood, sweat, and tears, my friends. Blood, sweat, and tears. But I've got that window view back now.